What's up, guys? Welcome back to another stream. How's everyone doing? How was your week? And what a week. Super volatile, super trendy. I hope you guys had a good week. A lot of central bankers, decision rate. And yeah, here we are, middle of June already. I hope you guys are having a positive month so far as well. And let's see what's going to happen for the second part of the month until basically reaching half of the year. It's going to be another volatile week next week. It's going to be more, I think, BOE interest rate decision, but there's going to be some data, and Fetcher Powell is going to testify Wednesday and Thursday in front of Congress. So those are usually quite volatile days as well, around 3 p.m. On Friday is going to be PMIs and so on. So another volatile day expecting this next Friday. But yeah, I think the volatility is going to be back, and let's see what's going to happen. What kind of a moves you are going to have? It's going to be some reversals again. Where is the dollar going to? And so on, right? So welcome. We usually do this stream. If you are new, we usually do this live stream every Saturday to pay attention to try to predict next opportunities for next week. Usually a little bit more higher time frame analysis. However, we do look into detail zones to try to take advantage of. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Of course, like, subscribe to the channel as well. We usually cover FX, main indices or the US indices, individual currency pairs also, of course, FX. Then we finish with gold and oil, and we finish with crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum, which again, another Friday, another big move in crypto and Bitcoin. This time finally to the upside. We are at a key level actually. Around BTC to see if you're actually going to resume the move to the upside or you're going to actually move to the downside. We'll see. All right, so dollar, right? FOMC, the rate stayed unchanged. And the surprise was with the dot plot forecast being at 5.6% by the end of the year, which may not mean anything because they're not really making any decisions based on that forecast. So let's see. At least another hike is expected. Not sure, but at least rate cuts. They're not really looking into it, at least this year, as the market was expecting. So here we are. We had a continuation to the downside on the. 1 second. Just bring my big pen in here. Yeah, it's working. So yeah, continue to move to the downside, right? So basically that's what we were looking for. I think last, where were we? Where did the week started? Monday. Yeah, Monday, something like this. I was actually looking for the dollar to get a little bit closer to this level. For a sell, it paused a little bit below that. We had managed to break the lows and those lows again. So I was actually looking for a continuation to the downside, under test kind of this level into that level. In there, maybe in lower time frame, there was something in there that where price actually reacted from. Maybe it have taken that one. Maybe take. Wait, okay, it's not exactly what I want. Yeah, I may have taken that one. Hey Jack, how are you, man? Good morning. So yeah, I was looking a little bit for the dollar, which is a zone that maybe is going to be used in the future whenever the dollar index is coming back to this zone. Maybe that's a zone to fake out these highs, just to have a little bit of a reaction and maybe a continuation. In that moment, maybe it's going to be just as a continuation to the upside, even under testing this level and continue. But that's whenever the dollar gets there. Right now, and after such a big bearish momentum that we had this week, and in particular on Thursday, we first of all, we do FOMC, we had that big move to the upside, right? And this time was quite weird, right? Because it was the big move happened as the announcement was being made and not exactly during the press conference, which is usually around the press conference that the market makes a decision, not during the press review, not during the release of the interest rate. So this time that happens in that moment, that's when it had this big spike around 7 p.m. and then price kind of corrected a bit and then kind of it moved. All right, but one level that we needed to see being broken in order to give us or make us be more bullish on the dollar is all kind of needed to be broken, and it was not, right? It was actually respected, I think maybe Thursday, and then price just continued to move to the downside with the ECB and the euro going upwards and the ECB and the dollar moving to the downside. Something else that actually maybe something that you can use in the future for any kind of big news event. It was quite expected that this kind of correction would have happened around the FOMC. Now it would be either during the interest rate or during the press conference. And the reason for that is because the hours before that, price was just literally trending in one direction. Like price, in this case, dollar was moving to the downside, everything else was moving to the upside. But it was just moving and starting to create a lot of compression. If you follow price on the 5 minutes, you could see that the compression was being created. Price is moving down, and usually that's not the type of move that you see happening just a few hours before the meeting, right? Usually you actually see price pausing, almost just trending in a range, almost not doing anything. That's kind of the move that happens in the afternoon in anticipation to the FOMC. Unless there is big news, and then maybe it's a bit more of volatile. But in this case, price was literally just continue to move down until basically 30 minutes or 1 hour before that, it finally turns. And there was a high probability that we would have at least a spike to kind of clean all this move to the downside that we had the hours before the meeting. Now, it could be just a spike during the interest rate and then kind of breaking down. Like at the end, the final direction eventually, that needs a little bit more than analysis. But at least one spike of a correction, I think, or a kind of a move as a correction, I think that was somehow expected. And that is just based on the way price was moving a few hours before. And this is something that you can eventually take into consideration in whatever future big news events that happen. If you just see price trending in one direction without really any main reason for it, and start compressing just before, the likelihood is not for price to go here and spike above, it's actually for price to go, and all of a sudden you have the spike down, and then can continue to move to the upside. Maybe there was a zone somewhere that could have been left behind, and price could go there, spike it, and then continue, whatever. At least that spike down, in this case, up, it's kind of expected. Yes, so with that, we had that price move, price reacted from there. And yeah, just a continuation downside. So question mark is now what's going to happen, right? And all of a sudden dollar just made all this move, basically clean everything in here, and now it's reacting from this level. This level actually on the war time frame is quite interesting. It's a good demand zone. I'm actually even looking for price to maybe go a little bit farther down, but if you actually look into the war time frame in here, it's actually a good zone, right? It's a zone that was left behind. I don't know if I can go there in 15 minutes, maybe 30. Which is in here. All right, basically we have these lows. They never reacted from it. Compression, it is done already, and then kind of we have already some other reaction from these lows, and this is the demand zone. Literally as simple as that. 30 minutes, so you can even maybe go into war time frame. Literally fresh. These lows never reacted from it, so this is a nice level. This one in here that I have, or even eventually maybe even that one, it's a bit more with a support resistance line on the left, and on the higher time frame, this kind of a daily low eventually could be taken. Maybe there's something in here as well, but this one in here, it was a nice zone, and that price reacted from. It was fresh, right? So that was a nice zone. That price started again. Price starts to slow down, right? It's not just price moving like this and reversing. It may happen like that. It's not that often. Usually price starts to slow down. Everyone attempt to get really close there, starts to create lows to create liquidity, starts breaking highs, and then finally you get into the level, again that fresh demand zone, and then you have whatever PI you have in here, and price goes, right? This is kind of with the news of consumer confidence yesterday. Yeah, and a little bit similar to the opposite on the euro, right? Because you could just reverse this move on the euro. This was a good zone in here to see if price would hold it or not. I don't even know if it actually broke it or not. It's kind of still holding in here a little bit the extreme of it. Yeah, my week was okay. Trading wise, I did kind of got faked out 1 or 2 times and the move itself ended up being what I was expecting, quite good, but I did miss the execution. So yeah, could have been a better performance. I didn't really trade much yesterday. I was quite busy, and on Thursday, yeah, Thursday it was just trading, like so I didn't really participate much on that either. But yeah, yesterday it was kind of a better day maybe for me to trade it. This is something that I actually start looking for, and anytime we have a big trading day, then the day after you kind of have a little bit of a correction, or that's the tendency, or at least kind of price retrace a little bit before maybe resuming, like either by finding a trend in here to continue to move downside, or finding a long in here to kind of for that retracement. But yeah, man, yesterday I was actually not even in my best. I was with a strong headache, big headache, maybe because of the weather that has been going on. I don't know. Thursday was a big long day for me, and yeah, I was just yeah, yesterday I woke up a little bit exhausted. So yeah, I didn't really benefited on anything. I did miss a short on the euro. It was quite obvious one, but I was busy, didn't see it on time. And yeah, if a zone is very obvious, right? That's the problem. That's a good question. Like if a zone is very obvious to you, you prefer to see it faked out. Yeah, I've suffered from that, and I may still suffer, right? Because we start thinking, oh, it's about the fake out and the fake out and the fake out, right? So you start then, or maybe we may overthink a little bit when we see a clear zone. We may completely miss out the move because we are still expecting maybe kind of an extra fake out, right? I started to be more okay with trading those zones that are that obvious, but I always want some kind of fake out. It can be either on the approach or on the left side, some kind of lows. Like for example, just this example on the dollar index, there literally demand zone and those lows never touch it. That for me becomes now better. At least a nice zone that is to try to trade it directly. Yeah, otherwise the approach is something that matters to me. But yeah, I've been there, right? It's kind of a little bit of overthinking, ignoring a really good zone just because you are still thinking about, okay, this may be too obvious. If it's too obvious to me, it's maybe too obvious to everyone, and that's a little bit of, yeah, not everyone actually sees the market like us. We may think that how the world sees the market like us, but it doesn't really. Like you are really a small small number. That even though these concepts of whatever, smart money, whatever you want to call it, fake outs, whatever it may be, trading with the banks or institutions, whatever, like even if that community looks like it's getting bigger and bigger, it's still quite small. At least that's what I think. We always think that we are in the majority, because even maybe the circle that we relate to and we speak the most with, they may see the market like us, so all of a sudden it looks like we are a big part of the community, but we are not, and that's just reality, regardless of whatever topic you want to talk about it. So yeah, if it's a good zone, maybe you can try to trade it, and that's it. Better to trade a good zone than to trade a bad zone and just to think that there's something in there. Dollar index. Yeah, what's expecting for next week, right? So basically, these lows have been already touched in here with the news. Could see maybe a little bit of a correction to the upside. We may get a little bit closer to that zone. Now looking at the daily time frame and what we have in here. Okay, price reacted a little bit from that zone on the demand zone, on the daily zone. and then kind of started moving to the downside. Okay, broke the walls. There's something. Yes, we do have this double bottom. Is this just a condition? Is kind of the dollar just okay, pause for a second, but still no new highs being created, and eventually is the dollar just continue to move down a little bit more into war zones. Perhaps we kind of have this double bottom now. Are you going to kind of use this one as a eventually fake out before moving to the upside, maybe into this demand zone or something like that? Maybe. Yeah, maybe that could happen. So yeah, bigger picture, there are a few scenarios that can happen in here on the dollar. We may just look at this point still within these lows just to see if there's anything in here, and there's maybe something still at the lows that price eventually can react from, in order to continue to push price to the upside. Question mark is this high even an engulf to the upside? And I don't really see it as much at this point. I don't really see that this high actually broke something important in here. Now, if you were about to ask me, would I prefer to see this high getting a little bit closer to the zone before it moved down in the continuation? Yes, I would have preferred that, which kind of leaves a little bit still of space towards the extreme. However, I'm not sure, at least on this time frame, if this is actually when it goes down. I kind of respect that level in there. So we'll see. We will see what's going to happen, right? So that level, and then maybe something in here underneath that price could go and react from. Again, I'll most likely just play along with it as price is evolving to try to find out what may happen in here. Always keeping an eye on whatever the euro, pound, and so on are doing as well to help with this move in here on the dollar. So yeah, maybe retesting that zone could be a possibility as a continuation to the downside. We will see what may happen in here, and even how the market's going to open this Monday, right? Is it kind of going to respect it and kind of move it, or even better to be actually break above this high straight away and above this level, and then come here to go and do whatever it wants. Like I would prefer to see something like that. Price open straight away, maybe go down a little bit around London open or something like that, be around here, and then kind of continue to go to the upside, or kind of either London open or US open, kind of to go somewhere around maybe this level after taking this highs, to then look for a continuation as long as price hasn't really reached this level. Like, so I want price to break these highs, to pause somewhere in here in the middle, and then can go down maybe towards this level, and then go there. That's maybe just an idea for Monday. Bigger picture, we'll see. Yeah, bigger picture, we will see. Yeah, this one already is taken in here. Yeah, now is there anything on the lower time frame in here, or this is literally just a spike, right? Did price even touch the demand zone? Yeah, it looks like it did, right? Yeah, is there something in here now that price can use? Something in there? We'll see. This may be kind of creation of a zone 2, move, but in the lower time frame, price could just do this, something like this. Yeah, it's exactly kind of what I mean. Yeah, eventually take this above all. I would like to go higher first before that. Yeah, that's for the dollar, and that's kind of what we have in here. All right, we'll see. Indices, right? It's been crazy. Been crazy. This US indices. Yep. All right. Still drinking my morning coffee. Okay, so indices. Where are we? Right, this bullish momentum continues. Something that has actually been interesting, and I checked that the other day. Someone asked me about the correlation between crypto and the indices. Yeah, Bitcoin started much stronger the year, even though NASDAQ also started the year. This is beginning of 2023, right? NASDAQ started like this, Bitcoin and so on also started like this. However, it's around the 14th, 15th of April, which is going to be somewhere. Where are we now? Okay, forget about what I was about to say. I thought it was somewhere in here. Okay, maybe I miss. Yeah. Yeah, it was just when crypto finally started to move to the downside a little bit. It looks like that's when these guys actually started to completely just move this, right? It was after this correction somewhere in there that the US indices literally started to skyrocket, which is where the correlation kind of stopped a little bit in there. And since then, basically, this second quarter of the year, Bitcoin has been just moving down, and these guys have been just, well, in a full bullish trend. Right then, counter indicator is here. Euro went up instead of tanking. Damn, and you'll see tomorrow it's going to open. It's going to open, and even though I wish it would go a little bit higher since I didn't manage to take the short, but yeah, let it first maybe reach your target and then you can retrace and then we can go short again together. So yeah, let's actually start with S&P. I will start with S&P. Maybe it was in the S&P. Okay, so S&P finally broke out these highs, right? From August. It just followed what Dow and NASDAQ have done already in the last few months. And next destination, it may be a little bit in there, right? There was maybe a zone in here that price still managed to kind of respect a little bit, zone that we kind of mentioned, price respect a little bit, but the continuation to the upside it's just on fire, right? Again, with the FOMC kind of price went down, but still managed kind of to respect a little bit this level and then kind of just continue. There's maybe this level in here in the future that can be quite interesting, whatever price wants to get there, which is the previous level of support resistance of the highs that we took, and we have this really nice demand zone, and of course we have all these lows now in alignment in here. None of them managed to respect managed to retrace all the way down, so this becomes now a really interesting zone in here to look for a potential long opportunity, at least some kind of reaction from there, right? So that's just something that, again, when those levels are left behind, it's worth to draw something in there, to keep an alert, just to keep an eye on them, because they become a really interesting level to look for an opportunity. Meanwhile, so we are here, right? So we at this point are reacting from whatever it is on this left side, with maybe the final destination being a little bit higher than actually where price is at this point. Basically reacted with from this previous support resistance. Let me just bring this one here. Yeah, it's basically a little bit in there. Well, yeah, not really sure exactly until where these guys want to go at this point. Well, I don't hold. Yeah, you're getting a little bit closer to this level. There's maybe something in here, or then price may just go a little bit higher, right? So all this enthusiasm as well with the AI it has been helping. Eventually, when that momentum shifts, it may be a little bit ugly for the indices, but until then, it is what it is. So let's see what's going to happen in here. Yeah, somewhere in here there may be some reaction to look for. Lower time frame, this could have been maybe a good maybe short opportunity, but we want to start noticing literally maybe some walls being broken, and eventually we may have that turn. I don't think the price will just turn in a V shape like that. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to properly turn, and you're going to keep an eye on them, on those exactly kind of opportunities, to try to take advantage of them. Yeah, this is kind of a really good level in the future for price to take these walls and go there. For now, even target price can just retest these walls and then continue to move higher. Something that you can literally do as a continuation in here. So this is what we have at this point. It's another Tuesday and kind of Friday that is quite strong on the indices. NASDAQ's a little bit different because it finally broke those highs, right? So we're looking at these highs in here as a next target, and basically we just took the highs and it just reversed, right? We have all this accumulation of highs in here, and yeah, a little bit above it there's maybe something in there on this retest of support, resistance, something in yeah, the heck. Yeah, something in there. But yes, basically price just took the highs and it reversed yesterday. So that was a nice one, and maybe can have a little bit more of a deep retracement after that. We took slightly the highs. It may go a little bit higher again, but then it's still going to kind of be seen as a fake out of all those highs. Natural target in here. Yeah, we kind of had that move in here, price respected, and then we can start moving a little bit lower. But yeah, first destination, carefully that level, price can respect it, and then we continue to the upside. We have now accumulation of that of these small highs in here. There's maybe a zone at the highs that can still be used, which can be interesting. Yeah, right. So all this helps as well when you want to start seeing as a high that can actually hold price down. If price starts to create a little bit of structure before underneath actually the extreme of it, that can be seen as an interesting top to that can still be used for then price to drop, especially at the same time if price keeps breaking lows, because eventually then can by breaking lows it starts opening space for price to go further down. And now there are two kind of a moves still that can be used in here, right? You can trade eventually this level, and then you can trade the left shoulder of that level after the fake out. So even if price, for example, there's this movement but then waves goes away without retracing these levels yet, most likely then there's still another opportunity to maybe look for a short in there to trade it. Otherwise, if price by any chance on the way down already reacts from this level, then this level kind of it's done, and then next time price comes here, maybe it's already ready to break the highs, right? It's just to try to keep an eye on which levels are left behind, and if some of them are being taken on the first time, then the high itself actually gets weaker because the levels have been taken, and then you may have actually a new fake out, and then kind of it restarts again. Hey, that's a deep question, Jack. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe for another day. Are you preparing yourself for how the advancement of AI may affect trading? Yeah, I mean, I haven't really done much research into that. I think it definitely helps with the analysis and search of information. Analysis in the sense more of research, right? Not kind of looking at the charts, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if how the algorithms are going to be updated in regards to AI, and what kind of new intelligence they will be included in there. But in terms of research, I think that's going to start to be powerful in that sense. Like, especially in terms of speed and where to get information, the reliability of the information, and so on and so forth. Because now, I think Bloomberg already has almost his own ChatGPT for themselves and stuff like that. So all those companies that have loads of also data of information, source of data. All of a sudden, if they create something also like ChatGPT, where you can collect all that information, but it's private because it's their information, it's not public. Yeah, that can be powerful as well. Yeah. In terms of trading itself, then we'll see. Like it's still the all emotions exactly that we are doing in here. Yeah, I was looking more of it in terms of research, getting information, speed of like how fast everything's going to become now. Yeah, we'll see what kind of impact it's going to happen. Yeah, NASDAQ, we'll see. Curious to see now that we are around those highs. Let's see now what's going to happen in there. DAX also new highs. All right, it finally went all the way up, kind of respected that level a little bit underneath. Yep, just broke the all-time highs once again, and that's kind of expected. When we are at all-time highs, it's a little bit tricky to trade them as a double top. More often than not, price will create new fake outs, and there you go. I think it looks like it's being respected first, even breaks a low, but now it just breaks it, right? So again, there's always the probability of a new high. So we want to actually see proper lows being broken, and kind of a space a little bit in there to be seen, and a proper target to try to take advantage of it. However, again, without information on the left side, this just makes it so much harder to predict. It's just the reality of it, and it's just to see that we are not, at least myself, I'm not really to guess. I'm kind of reacting to whatever price is reacting to on the left side. Without information, I have no idea. This is kind of a gamble in here. Yeah, and this is basically what we have from the indices. We'll see. It's going to continue to go higher. This can be a good target. This can be a good target. And we still kind of need to break these lows first, especially with these ones, and then maybe we can go again. Right now I have a combination of this double top, new double top in here. Come on, man. Which can be eventually used for price to yeah, maybe break low, respect that level, go down again, and then go back again. Yeah, we'll see. This move down was nice, right? Because price actually reached that target in there that we've been looking for quite a while. Now let's take a look at the other indices, currency indices, and this is actually where the action happened as well. So we had the euro, right? I've been mentioning that yes, during DCB the tendency is to see the euro moving to downside. However, we have been having that downtrend all the way since the last meeting, and since we didn't really have a proper reaction yet, or kind of retracement. And then actually the expectation was actually to see the euro actually going a little bit higher. And there was a key point in here, right? So price had just broken these highs just before DCB, or around the time of DCB. And this was the key level for me. It was the reaction of this zone. If price by any chance had broken or managed to break kind of below this level, maybe that could have opened the door and you could have seen a little bit more of a move to downside on the euro. But that didn't happen. It actually held it quite nicely, spiked to the upside, and this was again the next one. This was during the press conference, and this was the next one in here as well. Kind of our price would react around this level, and of course even this one. Like if by any chance we manage to break below, then maybe it opens the door, and the euro could have a little bit of a deep retracement. That never happened, and euro just continued literally to feel now the compression that it was broken into it, right? So anytime you break kind of these highs, when we enter into this compression, it's going to be one of the two moves, right? It's either kind of break, retest the next key zone and continue, or we have kind of a break. We may have a that deep retracement, and then we may have that zone. Like, of course, this second option is much better because it offers a much bigger risk reward, because if you do actually manage to get long in here, then your target can be all the way until there, at least final target, and you have a much bigger opportunity to trade. Comparing with this one, unless yes, you are literally just trading this level, and maybe the risk reward is still in there. But yeah, the compression has been done. Price filled all this space. Yep. So that was done, and now kind of we start moving a little bit higher and getting into these levels. This high in here actually already broke this previous high, so we can even maybe go a little bit higher in here on the euro, maybe getting closer to this level in here. Now, one point on the euro index is that this was, and I think maybe I've mentioned that last time, is that this was actually broke this wall, right? So this may be actually seen as an engulf to downside in the overall bigger picture, right? So this can be maybe a good level to try to aim for a potential short in there. Of course, look left, If there's a zone just above it, we maybe even fake out the high first before maybe moving down. But yes, we may get a little bit closer in here. Of course, you want to start seeing price slowing down a little bit, right? This is kind of a strong move. We actually starting to see that happening right now, right? Anytime you have kind of these big move downs, it's already price taking the orders from these demand zones. So it's getting a little bit weaker, which is perfect, and let it continue to move like that until maybe getting closer to those highs, and then it maybe turn. Yeah, bro. No, it's not going to put us out of job. I agree with that if you develop this skill set, and not just the technical part of it, of course you need to have the mindset and the professional part of it. I think you are set. You shouldn't really need to worry. Just worry about yourself, in the sense that, or about us. To stay motivated, to stay focused, to keep working and keep improving. That's with who we are actually competing against. So yes, T0 index. Let's see. We kind of did that. Now again, as I mentioned, just looking a little bit more to the upside. Maybe this is just a small engulf of how this move from here, right? Right. So we kind of reacted from that level, but if by any chance, if the idea here on the Euro index is even to go maybe closer to this one, which is kind of looks really nice, maybe it's going to be from there that then we actually going to have all this retracement and move to the downside all the way until there. So that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, our price is going to react from here. I can actually start deleting this stuff. Our price is going to react from this highs, and if you're actually going to have maybe a little bit of a bigger move until kind of we get maybe closer to this level, and then you have the big sell-off. We'll see what's going to happen on the euro. If you do actually continue to move much higher, then the dollar, of course, is going to continue to move down. Yeah, right. So, guys, good conversation, man. All right, maybe one day, man. If the channel keeps growing, or maybe we can actually start having conversations like that instead of just me jumping into here and do analysis. We can talk about that other part of trading, which is not just making predictions and looking at setups or whatever. Right? You can actually go deep into that, and you can actually have quite good conversations about it. But for that, I need to invite you guys to the stream. It's not going to be by chatting or by writing in the comments. What can I do here? So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there. At the top. What else? Yen, right? Yen is just unbelievable. We actually finished the day by breaking the lows. All right, so there you go. Like again, now we reach into a level where we don't have any more data on the left, so no idea now what's going to happen. Like unbelievable how price keeps going down. It had a little bit of a reaction from a few zones that we had an eye on, but the reaction was never that strong, and actually price just kept respecting the next level. On the other side, for example, this could actually have been a good sell opportunity during the BOG yesterday. And there you go. Like the main difference is that there's such a big difference in between where yen index is compared with dollar yen. Right? Because again, as I mentioned, this was kind of a zone of intervention. This was another zone of intervention. But looking at dollar yen, this represented 145 on dollar yen, and this represented kind of 151 or 150 something on dollar yen. And dollar yen is nowhere near still close to 135. So yeah, that's why if they were all in alignment, that would have been a different story. Like this We may even continue to see dollar yen moving down. It's getting to some extremes as well. The BOJ decided to completely stay on track of whatever they are doing with monetary policy, and they also had a meeting yesterday. Let's see. Honestly, let's see. Where does it goes to, and what's next in here. Looking individually at the currency pairs, you start seeing a little bit of a compression, a little bit of price to attempt to go down, but then just continues to go higher. Dollar yen is behaving on its own. I'm talking more about euro yen, Aussie yen, pound yen, and so on. So it's going to be interesting to see what may happen again. And this is where it's again the approach and not fight. Even if you had the bias, or kind of start looking for a potential reversing here, especially even before it broke these lows. Be careful, right? Try it if you want to, if you see the potential price action there to take the trade, but be careful. Don't force price to do something that it's not telling you that it wants to do. That's kind of the bottom line in there. Know where your bias, kind of where you create your other know where your bias kind of reaches stop loss, right? Where are you wrong in your bias? Thank you so much, Raj, for subscribing, man. Welcome. Welcome, man. I hope you're getting value. Yeah, let's take a look at the individual currency pairs, man. Let's jump into it. Wow, long time no see. How are you, man? Not man. Sorry. That's just an expression. Sorry. How have you been? Are you still trading? Sorry. Euro. Right then. What are you expecting on the euro? To crash? Are you... Feden, are you still holding the trade, or do you close it? Yeah, trading corn and wheat. Fair enough. How the commodity? They have been moving to the upside, right? Commodities have been bullish now, I believe. Maybe you can share with us some inside information. All right, you close it. Okay. So since you close it, so now we can make plans of it to go higher, right? And I don't have this psychology pressure of going against you. Yeah, this was a great trade, right? It's exactly the one you took. I actually was about to get in at the highs first. But yeah, not really following price. This was a good attempt to go to a price broke it in there, especially below this demand zone. For example, there was maybe a good opportunity to go for a short. Yeah, and the zone on the euro also it's quite good, to be honest, in there. But before we get there, so this is what we had, right? So again, euro apparently kind of reacted nicely from that level. We had all this compression, and you have the breakout compression. Then you kind of have a zone to move, and then kind of start moving higher, right? So break a highs, and this is kind of where I was last week. Kind of euro, and it was somewhere in here that you closed, right? So we just broke these highs again. Kind of the second break of a high, that makes him a little bit more bullish than if it's just one. If it's just one break, maybe just fake out, it's just a continuation. But if you actually price then respects the demand zone, it starts breaking highs again. Yeah, that's starts to be a little bit more bullish, especially considering that we have already all this compression. And there you go. Then price just moved. This actually could have been a good zone. I actually had that zone last week, but I didn't trade it. It's actually overnight. And then there you go. Euro just continued to move to to the upside. I was looking for actually with the FOMC for price to go a little bit lower before continue higher. Unfortunately, that never happened. So yeah, price just continue to move upwards. So it kind of reached kind of this destination at this point, and now we are getting into here, right? And this was a zone that actually reacted, and it was a really good zone. Can even look on the world time frame. There you go. All right, we have kind of this decision point. We have price aiming to go there. It doesn't. This is mostly the supply that everyone's going to try to trade from, but actually the decision point is actually in there after kind of an environment with this break of this low. That's kind of where it is, and since this one never reacted from there, that zone is still fresh. Above here, almost everything has been taken, and maybe we can even start aiming a little bit higher in there. That is just to see a little bit that we need to go into more detail in there when you're looking at stuff. To be honest with you, in here, we may take these highs. Yeah, man, I'm not really sure if there's many more things in here. A lot of it has been compressed already. Something in there, perhaps. That's which with a higher high. Yeah, that's too much in there. We'll see. If we may have, I wouldn't mind to see a little bit of a correction here. But we may continue. Like let it correct first, and that maybe we may continue. Otherwise, this may actually be one of the best zones if price by any chance wants to turn. Comparing of whatever is going on in here, this could be one of the best zones actually to maybe resume the move to the downside. Yeah, man, I don't know if do you have anything above it? Do you have anything above between these highs and this level? What's your favorite level in there? We do have this extreme in here. This was created with the last ECB press conference, and price never retraced to there, but that's kind of the extreme of the extreme. Then we created all this double top, a compression already. So the way price was moving down, it's kind of okay. Price then reacted from here. Is there something in here that could use? Which price took that level already, and obviously this one in here it's already taken. Yeah, man, it's hard to see, man. I don't like anything in here on Euro. Nothing stands out to me. Maybe unless the extreme. Yep, we may fake out this and go there. You were saying on the higher time frame that you kind of like this, right? The other day you shared a chart with me on the daily time frame that you may just continue. It's just a mess, man. I have so many lines in here. I need to start creating these lines. Yeah, this may be just a continuation of the bigger picture to the upside. Now, lower time frame. Yeah, there's maybe still something in here. This was a nice zone. Price reacted nicely from there. Yep, that's a nice zone. Maybe similar to what I just predicted or kind of mentioned on dollar index, right? This level is still kind of being respected, but I wouldn't mind to see kind of a new low and then maybe a retracement towards this level and goodbye and something like this. I wouldn't actually mind at all to see something like this happening with price and maybe retracing all the way closer to this level, and then we'll see what may happen. But for now, yeah, that could be interesting. I wouldn't mind at all. Yeah, because of the weather. I mean about the corn and wheat. All right. So nothing above FX or like with your personal account or something like that. Pound, that's another one, right? So pound dollar. Again, not if you're actually realistic. Like, for example, if this is a 1 minute time frame chart, let's pretend it's 1 minute time frame chart, right? And not a daily. Like, it would be quite expected that after breaking these highs, most likely price actually wants to get there, right? Would you be looking at anything in here on 1 minute time frame? Mostly not. I do have this level in here that I kind of draw. This was a demand zone that price could and should have kind of had a little bit of a reaction there, and it didn't. So I'm actually just curious to see how price is going to react from there. And it's kind of a little bit in alignment with something in here. And the only reason I have this is because this is not a 1 minute time frame, it's actually a daily, therefore can be some reaction on intraday. Yeah, in between kind of maybe above this high, somewhere into there can be something to look for. So yeah, actually let's see how price is going to react a little bit from there. But overall, maybe the final destination actually for the pound is actually to eventually get closer to this structure somewhere in there, right? So, and this is a typical trend continuation setup, especially when you are looking at this higher time frame trend, right? So we have been doing like this, and what happened in here is that you break a high, right? And we talked about it. In the moment, it's a nice fake out, and price actually can go down, but in the bigger picture, this is actually an engulf to the upside. You have a target in here, right? Everything has been compressed, so now all of a sudden you have a trade for a month, right? And price goes down, and then we had the target. The target was this month zone, right? And when price respects that target, again we have a target in here. Everything is compressed, so price gets there. And all of a sudden, as price is moving upwards, you start realizing actually that this is an engulf upwards. This is not exactly a continuation down, and we should kind of detach yourself from shorts, especially if price doesn't tell you that it wants to turn, and it never does. It never does. It just continues. It never really breaks any lows whatsoever as it goes up until finally break the highs. And when you have that confirmation of a new high, that's the moment for a long, and there you go. And that happened. Yeah, this is an example. If you compare this one, break. What is the low from this that created all this move? What is the low that created this high? It's maybe this one. But we faked the high, and where do we go to react from? Kind of below the low that kind of created this one. But in reality, this is actually the demand zone that is still fresh. It could be the demand of support resistance, whatever, right? So that's a natural zone to go to. So they kind of target this low. They make it look like it's a break of a low, so everything starts being bearish, but it's not exactly a break of a low. We already broke that high on the left side. This is actually just a continuation. It's just something similar to this one. We have this structure. We kind of finally break a zone. Watch the low that kind of created that. It's in here. We just go down. Next demand zone, support resistance, whatever, and then we have the continuation. It's a little bit different, but it's kind of still the same. It's different because of actually kind of where actually price goes. But what I mean is, when you have a clear high in here, all of a sudden you kind of break the high, and the tendency is to go have a deep retracement, fake out whatever low created this high, fake out that low, and then you are free to continue. You're going to see that happening quite a lot, especially when it's this break of zones in the middle of the zone. And if we have this high, we have this low, it's kind of this kind of a move in between this level. That's going to happen quite often in there. So let's see what's going to happen there. Yesterday, pound has been a little bit more bullish. Yeah, let's see. Continuation to the upside. It created a lot of momentum all of a sudden on Thursday, broke out that structure. Now this is the low kind of starts to look at. We have this accumulation of highs. Let's see. Eventually, we are getting closer to that level on the daily time frame, but we may just continue to go higher. So yeah, I may look for shorts in here, but with cautious. Especially, it may get better if we break below these lows. Maybe we can then target this level again, but we will see what may happen on the pound. In here we have BOE this week on Thursday, so maybe some volatility also to look for, and eventually we can get there. All right, yeah, looking forward to it. Keep me updated also how it's going. Yeah, we actually yeah, you miss out on, we recently started to do a series of separating the trend in 4. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4. And kind of the setups that you were working before, it was more of a Zone 2. But yeah, keep me updated how it's going with your FX account eventually when you do start again. Alright, so this is the pound. Let's see what's going to happen afterwards. We can actually take a look at Euro Pound. Euro Pound was one of the trades that I took. I've been long out this time. Took most of it indeed, took some in here, took most of it in here, and kind of then just got at break even in the last piece of it. I was looking for the final target on the test of that level. This was a nice one. This was kind of price retested. This was my entry point. Price retested 50 times my entry level, and I was just okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, pound, just continuation to the downside. Right, Euro Pound, I mean, getting a little bit maybe closer to the next zone in here. Let's see how price reacts from there. But the fake out was done. I could never really manage to break the high. I did still reacted kind of the PA in here. I liked it, that's why I went long. But yeah, the likelihood in here it would be actually to continue to move down since we never broke this high. There you go. Let's see now where does it going to stop in here, Euro Pound. Aussie, it's another one that's been quite bullish. Feel basically a little bit of this compression, reacting from there. I think there's more room as well to the upside on Aussie. Yep, kind of have a little bit of this range. I think eventually we can target this high eventually, and aim to go a little bit closer maybe to this level that is still fresh. Where there's some good opportunity investigating there, but before that, there's maybe something still around these levels to look for in here. I don't think I'm a big fan of where price is reacting from at this point, so I wouldn't mind to see new highs being created in there. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, Aussie. Yeah, a lot of compression as well. Kind of the way price moved. The way price moved to the upside. Eventually, whenever it turns, maybe can feel some part of this compression. But for now, this is kind of the main level for price to hold and maybe continue to move to the upside. Again, maybe targeting these highs can be interesting. Yeah, that level looks really nice. Right above this high. This level in here looks really nice to look for. Yeah, looking forward for that one. Something in here as well. The price is reacting from this level. Not the biggest fan. Maybe something in here. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe good levels in there. Yeah, I'll let Aussie going a little bit higher before aiming for a short. We have Euro Aussie also just moving to the downside. Yeah, strong range in here. Not really moving much. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Because we have Euro moving upwards, we have Aussie moving upwards, and all of a sudden this just stays in this range, and it is what it is. That's how it works. So yeah. So let's see if we continue to move down a little bit, we may do it, may get closer to this level. Then we have the end pairs, right? This is the main difference. So we finally moved away from this range on the end, right? We have been stuck in this range for quite a while. We finally moved away from here. We kind of never broke this low, so we are kind of still looking for price to continue to the upside. Right? We have been bullish all the way through, and now there you go, right? So we have this double top in here, and we may get a little bit closer to the upside. Now, what I wanted to say before is that for comparing with an index, so this is 145, right? This is actually where it was the first intervention, and the end index was on one of those levels that it just broke this week. And then kind of this was the last one, 151, and the yen index is already literally just broke this high. In this case it was a low on the yen index, right? So, and you can see the big gap or lagging that the dollar yen is in comparison to the yen index. So yes, let's see, whenever you get to this level, that can be a huge opportunity maybe to look for a sell on dollar yen, and maybe a big move to expect from the yen index to the upside. And actually kind of a nice zone in there. We just took a look at it the other day. Now we have this double top. We may target that zone before I move to the downside. Now this dollar yen has been is moving also in regards to the dollar, not just the yen, and that's why it has been a little bit more in a range, literally comparing with any other of the yen pairs that we're going to see in a bit. So yes, continuation to the upside. We are getting closer into this level. In here, that's actually basically where price is reacting from. Yeah, we may break above that level, may go a little bit higher into something in there. Yeah, not sure if there's anything in here. Maybe a little bit that zone. I go into 1 minute. Can, yeah, maybe something. Not biggest fan of anything in here. Why do I have this rectangle? Ah, it's a demand zone in there. Okay. Yeah, something in here. That price should have respected. It didn't, just broke above it, and then start aiming towards this level. Okay, yeah, let's see when you do break above this highs, if there's something in there that can hold price and maybe can have a little bit of a correction before maybe continuing to move upwards. Yeah, so that's just something to keep an eye on in here. A lot of it has been compressed, maybe this one. Yeah, a lot of it has been compressed in here. Yeah, man. Wait, then what do you think about dollar yen? Where do you see it? Euro yen just continues to move upwards. It broke the high, right? Then breaking the high again. There was no break, no nothing to the downside. Just kept respecting it. In here you can see a little bit of the attempt to go down. But there was never momentum in there. It was just holding until finally broke above it, and in here another time was being respected, another demand zone being respected. Again, guys, if you are a trend continuation, if that's your setup, I hope you guys had a killing week, because this was the perfect scenario for all of you. Yeah. For someone that is looking for reversals, I hope you guys brought in your defensive game, because otherwise you got crushed. Yeah, just continuation. Again, we started creating kind of this zone, kind of slightly break lows. It starts to give a little bit idea. Okay, maybe it's time to go down. Nope, not yet. It just continues. It just continues to go higher, and we are back in zones of 2008, so it's don't really have much data. Maximum I can go is daily, or minimum I can go is daily time frame. We need the daily time frame. This is maybe a zone that I have in here that this I never reacted from, and then maybe we can go above this double top, and maybe then eventually somewhere in there, right? But this is daily time frame. Weekly, it's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, maybe take that one. Maybe something here can be interesting, and then you start looking at literally 2007. This is basically the peak of the peaks. We have this interesting left shoulder. Just imagine the trade, right? Just imagine this massive, this massive trade on euro yen, right? Yeah, 17 here, go to sleep, come back 10 years later, and that's your opportunity. Yep, or imagine even the oh my god, imagine over there at the highs. It's a beautiful zone, to be honest. It's not a bad one, really here at the highs, and the other one is not a bad one neither. Yeah, if we got that level, something in there, it's not a bad zone. kind of took this level in here, compression, so somewhere in there, kind of start this compression here of this indecision point. Something here can be interesting with an alignment with this 2-month zone. But that actually looks really nice. 162.431. This is a beautiful level. Yeah, somewhere in there. This is literally where the decision point is made. In here, within these candles. We break below, we try to go down, we go up, try to go down again. We literally try as much as possible to go up with this bull candle and get crushed. And here is the decision point. Okay guys, you are too expensive. Let's move down from here. We've stopped in there, never retraced to this level, at least on this daily time frame. Can't go lower. Yeah, it looks nice. Alright, so let's see. Where it run? Wait until it gets a little bit there on that daily zone, and we'll see what's going to happen. But be careful. It's kind of just a recommendation. In here, pound yen, what do I have? Just another one skyrocketing. Right, it's another one that, yes, we do break the highs, a little bit of something, but then of course next level it will always be somewhere in there. So there's no surprise that price just basically in a couple of days just makes all this move. And what a move it was. Again, looking left, what do we have? All right, so it's starting to be somewhere with this level in here. We can go eventually above this size and can be quite an interesting trade whenever we get there. Even like, I can go here, fantastic. Yeah, eventually even take this high as well. Maybe get a little bit, even though I don't like this about top. Yeah, so is this where price is? No, price is in here, right? So price is reacting a little bit from this level that I had. This one never touched it. It's kind of a little bit where price is reacting from. And you have all these amount of highs. Kind of, yeah, almost all of it has been compressed all the way there. And we start getting closer to this level. So it's going to be interesting to see how price is going to react from here. Yeah, if you are just going to continue to go higher. In reality, this high never broke any lows. It actually went all the way to the extreme. So this can actually happen like this. As there's no break in here. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. If this was a 5-minute time frame again, most likely I would even wait for price to actually slightly take this high and then turn in alignment maybe to his left shoulder. That's kind of where I'll be looking for a sell. Even though there's maybe something still in here that price could look for it. Let's see. Price now is reacting from this level. It's a 50 pip zone. Okay. Alright, so this is pound yen. Yeah, Aussie yen. It's an interesting one as well. So this one, it's the one that is reacting a little bit more to the top of the extreme in here, which is going to be interesting to see. Again, another one that just skyrocketed to the, just moved to the upside. All this was compressed all the way through, so kind of a little bit no surprise. I start having a little bit of a reaction from these levels, and let's see how price is going to react from these highs, and if there's anything in there that price can use. Or are we going to just continue to move higher since this was already a fake out in there? We may even get now closer to this level in here, right? So that can be something to look for. Price may actually get closer towards that level before maybe moving down. We already have breaks of the lows in here, so it may go a little bit higher. Let's see, right? If by any chance the yen is about to do any any change of direction. Yeah, one thing is for sure, the yen pairs are getting quite bullish and the yen index quite bearish, overextended. Yep, let's see if there's something in there. CAD finally broke the walls. I haven't been looking at CAD for a while. I did miss the short in here, which is quite stupid. Yep, it may continue to go down. We finally broke these walls. We have a little bit of a correction. We may have a little bit of retracement towards these levels before continuation. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen in here. Kind of respected that level. Maybe this one is above in here, can be interesting. Maybe it's already reacting from there. Yeah, some reaction from that zone can be useful. Compression. Maybe there's something in here still. Oh, there's a circle. Maybe price could use this one, take this one, react from there and move down. Yeah, perhaps. Again, not really a bias. I haven't been that much focused on CAD this last week or so. Let's see. I may go all the way down in here. Yeah, is there anything in here that price can hold? It can hold price. Little demand zone in there. Yep, little demand zone in here. Basically, price is reacting from here already. So that's being done. Aside from that, price may just continue to move down. Oh, well, price hasn't really touched yet. So yeah, maybe can have a little bit of a move in here. Okay, and then price just continue to move down. Now, dollar franc Swiss. This is a different story. Dollar franc Swiss. Yeah, this one is. So yeah, we started to be bearish in here, right? And this is one of the most clear setups that we have been talking about for this last couple of weeks. That we started to turn bearish on the dollar franc Swiss on this war time frame. By war time frame, I mean kind of 1 hour, 4 hours time frame. Yeah, we created that zone. As I mentioned, I wanted to kind of look for the size to go there to kind of look for a sell, and I missed everything. And this could have been a great short opportunity to enjoy this move, right? We created new lows, we started literally making lows, and we have a target, right? As you mentioned last week, even 2 weeks ago, we have a clear target, which is kind of this level, in this bigger picture, right? And which is into this zone. So it's kind of a little bit of the target that we have. Now we have a little bit of a deep retracement. Maybe there's going to be opportunities to look for new teams to look for a short. Or maybe we can, yeah, let's see. But yes, the target is literally to go below this low into that zone. And in here, I'm going to kind of look for potential long opportunities for eventual price to move to the upside, because on the other hand, we have kind of an engulf up, right? Kind of this is a little bit of the difference that I mentioned before. In the higher time frame, maybe price hasn't really reached the extreme of the extreme, but it's reacting from something that is not exactly an engulf. It's just something that it's there and price respects it and goes down. In this case, on this dollar franc Swiss, I kind of see this one as an engulf upwards, even though price may be reacting from something in here on the left, on the war time frame. I think it's kind of an engulf to the upside. So I'm going to be turning. Whenever price gets in here, I'm going to try to find opportunities to look for longs in here on dollar franc Swiss. That's kind of what I'm going to be trying to do, and that's why kind of first I was bearish, and then I'll be turning bullish again with confirmation. But maybe there's a really good turning opportunity in here. Of course, dollar needs to help. Like I mentioned also that in that scenario, that if dollar franc Swiss is about to make this move, we need dollar to help. In this case, dollar to move to the downside, and that has been happening. And eventually, of course, dollar also kind of needs to be a little bit in alignment with this in order to help dollar franc Swiss to push to to the upside, but this one can be quite interesting for the next few weeks. Gold, what we have on gold, right? So gold, we managed to break slightly with the lows in here. I think I really like this level on gold. So we're starting to create this kind of compression, kind of extending in here. We ranged for a while. Price kind of stayed a little bit within this level. We got a little bit close to the extreme in here, then we kind of slightly breaking the low, and then finally we actually break all these lows. I can reckon from something in here still. On the other hand, these highs, they never really got to the extreme of this level, right? So basically they left this zone behind, this zone that has respected this level, and therefore I'm actually curious to see how price eventually is going to fake out these highs and how is it going to react from here. I think there's maybe some potential good opportunity maybe to look for a sell above this level. Now, is price from this level going to go all the way down? I'm not sure. I don't know. Good signs that we start to break a little bit these lows, even though kind of respected this level. But let's see how price approach. Maybe the only thing that's going to happen is from here all the way to the next level of support resistance, and that will be the move and price will go up. Hopefully we're going to have a little bit more of a weakness in here, and maybe price breaking some lows in order to then actually have a bigger move, maybe somewhere from here and somewhere in there. We have maybe a deeper retracement, maybe retesting this level. So that's something that I'll be looking for on gold. At this point, this zone looks quite interesting above all these highs in here. This one was left behind. That's kind of just a zone to look for on gold this week. Eventually we can even, again, maybe target the lows again, retest these left shoulders, and then we'll see. Oil, what's going on with oil? Oil, apparently went to my zone, fake out that level, and now move to the upside. Yeah, we are still within this range, so interesting. We kind of broke slightly that level. May get closer to this zone in here, and then maybe inside here there's maybe something in there, something else at 75. And that's kind of a little bit of what we may have in here. It's been quite volatile in here. Yeah, nothing much to say. And crypto, Jack, are you still there? What are you looking for? Bitcoin, like another strong move to the upside. Like it's literally compressing down. Didn't really react from this extreme, so this is kind of the first fake out. Then price went to the extreme, kind of respected, supply taken in there. Another double low, we talked about it. Yeah, be careful with these double lows being created, and then you kind of have that strong move down and the fake out. Now the zone I had was a little bit more at the highs in here, but price apparently went down to kind of respect a little bit maybe the bottom of this. Like nevertheless, it's still kind of around this level. It's still kind of a little bit in around between kind of this previous level support resistance within this range in here and these left shoulders as well. So there you go, another typical behavior in here. One low, kind of another one fake out. I had actually this level in here as a zone of interest. Price just decided to react from that one, kind of fake out. Yeah, again, you see, create a low that doesn't really touch the zone, and then price goes and spikes below that zone into the demand, as you can see in the wartime frame, and then price moves upwards. This is one that is still fresh. We'll see if price by any chance wants to go there eventually and react from. There you go, finally a move to the upside, right? And this is what we had, right, since beginning of the year. Like the first quarter of the year we had a move to the upside. Second quarter of the year basically we are kind of correcting, but still way far away from where it started, right? The move to the upside has been much bigger than this kind of correction here. It has been a lot of compression. This may show a little bit of weakness, to be honest. The Y price has been kind of a big fight. It's taking a lot of this for the sellers to actually keep pushing price down. The buyers are always trying to push price up. So let's see. Again, this level in here is quite important for me. just looking at the chart itself, because if you do break below that, you may open doors to go much lower. So that's something to keep an eye on. Jack is saying 27.2, which is, yeah, something in here, right? Yeah, I do have that zone, but to be honest with you, I think I prefer even this zone above it, because this high in here kind of paused in the middle of nowhere. We already reacted from these left shoulders. Yes, this level may still be something in here that price can touch in there, but I think eventually price may target these highs and actually going into this level, which will be 27,570 if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised, and it's also kind of a nice zone as well. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if price may go actually here something, and then we'll see. Yeah, we'll see, because at this point the lows they kind of reach a target, which will be this level of structure, right? That's target, at least in my eyes. It has been kind of reached. Now if you break below that level, that's a different story. Then even if price retraces, I'm still going to aiming to look for a big sell. At this point, since price kind of reacted from a good zone, any sell can be just a small retracement just before a continuation, right? So let's see what's going to happen in here. Like, again, kind of maybe still something in here, depending on where price actually pauses before maybe making this big retracement. Maybe a zone in there, kind of like it. Yeah, I may kind of like it in there. Yeah, let's see. Of course, above this, above here can also work. We have these left shoulders, we have these left shoulders. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I do see it as well, fresh in here. It was a little bit compressed already on the way down. We broke this demand zone, so kind of that supply zone, so that's something to keep an eye on as a potential reaction from, as a continuation. Price has been already reacted from there. Yeah, two zones to look for. Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum survived this level. This is daily time frame. Weekly, although we actually broke the low, so it's interesting. On the weekly, we actually broke the low. Now we're about to break the highs. Yeah, nice move again, similar to BTC, kind of fake out this low. There's maybe still something at this extreme in here that price could use. Kind of broke a little bit above this level. Let's see, right? So again, we had a little bit of this structure. Price reacted really from the extreme in there. As you can see, there were all these lows. Where are we? In here, right? There were all these lows, and price just went a little bit lower. Come on, we went a little bit lower. Yeah, right, we have all these lows and we have kind of this demand zone in here. Yep, all queen this is. Like, look at this 15 minutes time frame. Like, we have all these lows, none of them reacted from the demand zone, and all of a sudden, boom, the reaction, kind of the orders that were left behind in there. Yep. Sometimes it's just find those levels, even if it's just kind of with some highs, kind of attempting, none of them touch it. Yeah, the zone above, it's beautiful. The zone below, in this case. Yeah, that level right on BTC. Yeah, I'm going to actually set up an alert. I don't think I did it right now, but I'm going to set up an alert just above it, because I want to keep an eye on that one. And also going to already have an alert in here just below that 27,200 that you mentioned. I'm going to be looking at those two. I think that can be quite quite good. Hopefully it's not going to be with a big spike. Actually, it's going to be a little bit more with price slowing down. Yeah, and that's it for me, guys. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. Any questions? Again, nice conversations about AI. Thank you, Jack, for bringing that up. Faden, again, welcome back. I hope you find some more time now to trade. Looking forward to see you more on the stream. And 21 that is watching as well. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend, and let's have a good trading week next week. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Obrigado.